A ball of fire forced workers to run for their lives last night when a Prince George sawmill exploded. Dozens were hurt, some badly burned, and one man has died from his injuries. But before the flames were extinguished in northern BC, the questions began. How could this happen again? Chris Brown has that from Vancouver. Chris?
Well, Diana, most of all, this is terrible for the families of the man who died and the others who are injured. But beyond that, the stakes are enormous for BC's entire forestry sector. By daylight, the flames at the gutted Lakeland mill appeared to be out, but fires still smoldered inside. Just after 9:30 last night, the sawmill exploded in a series of fireballs.
I hope everybody's okay.
Brian Crory was inside the lunchroom and gave a harrowing account of what happened.
All of a sudden there was a large flash. The next thing you know, the floor lifted up.
Crory says one man who crawled out with him was in terrible shape.
A lot of his clothes were blowing off, and like he was burnt bad. The thing I noticed first off was his fingertips. Both hands were just about, it looked like they were gone.
This morning, workers arriving at the site were stunned at the destruction.
Right now, disastrous, very disastrous.
And an explosion like that, what do they have in the mill that can explode like that? The only thing they can have in there is dust.
Sawdust is not usually explosive, but in confined areas, when you add a spark, it can become combustible, as this video from a U.S. experiment shows. And it's the second time in just 3 months excessive amounts of sawdust at a BC mill may have led to disaster. In January, a plant in Burns Lake experienced an eerily similar explosion that left 2 dead. So today, the province moved quickly to order inspections for all BC sawmills.
These explosions, 2 of them in such short order, are extraordinary. There are people who've worked in this industry for over 30 years and have never seen an accident of this type.
I was fearful that there would be a recurrence of what happened in Burns Lake.
Forestry consultant Neil McManus says mills in BC's north, including the Lakeland one, are cutting timber killed by the mountain pine beetle, which leaves the wood and its dust unusually dry.
When you have a fire, this wood burns apparently more aggressively than normal dried wood does.
If true, the ramifications for all BC sawmills could be enormous. It's all just a theory for now, though, as investigators say their work is just beginning. Tonight, we know the man who died was a 43-year-old shift supervisor, Alan Little. There were almost 24 people injured in the blast. Some of them were brought here to Vancouver with serious burns. Diana.
Chris, what do we know about the measures taken after that earlier explosion you referenced in Burns Lake?
Well, that investigation actually isn't done yet, but WorkSafe BC confirmed today that the focus of it is on sawdust, and that's why they've issued this unprecedented order to BC sawmills to check for their levels of dust and any sources of ignition within the next 2 weeks. Diana.
Thanks, Chris. Chris is in Vancouver tonight.